Soda.
Some different stuff,
you know, it's
here.
gonna happen for sure. But yeah, at least they've got techies to kind of cause havoc and this Lycan to cause havoc. But yeah, they picked the Morph into this counter matchup. You know, the Drow, excellent versus the high agility. Also, Hypothermia is really good versus Morphling. So yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be difficult. I can see why they would have wanted it. Like versus Undying, it's amazing. Versus Primal Beast, you know, turning into Primal, turning into Undying, the Tombstone / Trample and stuff like that can be really effective. But carry to carry matchup, I have big concerns for Palantimos.
Okay. And sort of overall as well, like, what would you sort of read from the way that both teams want to approach this game? Because, you know, what Rune enjoys, they've got a lot of push, a lot of pressure, right? There's Lycan, there's Leshrac. If they don't get, like, you know, crushed in the laning stage, they'll be able to sort of hit this timing where they'll start running down objectives.
Yeah, I think that's kind of going to be the thing I'm looking at, is if they can actually dominate their lanes. But I think Ooredoo's actually got kind of like more winning lanes. I actually really like their lane setups. This Drow Undying, it's very safe up top. Kaori on the Dying should be able to make the space for TA2000. It's a Bat versus Lesh. Noob, actually one of my favorite Bat Rider players, so he should do fine. And then bottom it's Rubik and Primal Beast, a very potent lane versus a Morphling Tree. Sure, Tree can help you, but Morph just kind of has to watch in the early laning phase. So I like Ooredoo's like all three lanes, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and in terms of, you know, the Bat pick, do you feel that Rune and Joyous have done enough to address that? You know, that timing where Bat comes out of a decent lane, he's going to be just running at his heroes. Do they have the means to sort of protect one another from this Bat just running them over?
No, that's kind of my big worry, at least for it. Once they get BKB, it looks like this Bat just has pretty much the pick of the litter. Whoever he wants to go for, him and the Primal, even, like both of them, when they have their BKBs, I think they're just going to run right through Rune Enjoyers. But let's see.
Let's have a look. So indeed, we got the lane setups. Palantimos on the Morph from Mary on the Tree. Those two on the safe lane against Wuta and Omar. Mid lane, we've got Noob versus Stoikov and the Bat versus the Lesh. And up top, we've got TA2000. Too close at all. So plenty of mangoes to play around with. Of course, came fully stacked to the lane.
Oh yeah, it just instantly decays him as soon as he sees him every time. So yeah, he's very, very squishy on this Lycan. Base damage is like 20 below the Drow. So kind of, I mean, they have two. I mean, both their lanes are actually pretty annoying, right? The decay to reduce Lycan's damage, and then the Fade Bolt to reduce the Morphling's damage bottom. But Palantimos is unfazed so far.
See here, the odds provided to us by our partner, esportsbet.io. Of course, very much favouring Ooredoo Thunders. They, without a doubt, consider the favourite in this matchup, considering what we've seen so far from both the two teams. And just sort of overall in this league, Ooredoo very much expected to be one of the two teams to make one of those top two spots overall. And which is exciting to see, especially considering this was one of the teams that came for the closed qualifiers. But if you watch those qualifiers, you would have definitely been able to get a sense already that this team, it's a very strong lineup.
Yeah, I mean, TA2000 is, in my opinion, their mid and their carry positions are just incredibly good. Like, I think Noob has been kind of underrated for some time. He's had some pop-offs on some of his like specialty heroes like Snapfire and stuff. But yeah, I like giving these two a lot of attention. They're pretty amazing. And Naive, of course, TA2000 has had some explosive games, just not so much luck recently until this team. So fun thing also is, Rune Enjoyers 30 days ago, they actually won versus Ooredoo Thunders with techies. There was only one map. It wasn't a whole series.
Okay.
And it was a completely different game. But either way, you know, just wanted to point that one out. So maybe that's why they went down that route. Because when I saw the techies pick, it wasn't something that was like, wow, you know, this is an amazing techies game or anything like that. So maybe they're just feeling that this worked last time versus this team, and, you know, that strategy worked well.
Absolutely, yeah. And, of course, it being this Grandmaster Techies, then we expect some magic from him. Bottom lane, that's going to be First Blood. Wuta and Omar get aggressive as Mary steps up a bit too far, and they will be able to take him down, trample over him. So, bottom lane, getting the kills, and, of course, continued farm for Wuta looking very good, but at the same time, yeah, as we pointed out earlier, Palantimos not feeling too much heat himself, not having too much difficulties getting the CS down here. We'll see if that changes as the level advantage starts to creep in for Ooredoo Thunders. You know, Mary's got to be careful not to give away any more lives down there.
It's a hard lane either way. Palantimos is doing well, but it's constant pressure and constant kill threat. Fade bolt a lift, they get hit by trample when he's not prepared, and he just does go down top though. Bit of a trade, but Thunder should be happy.
Is he going to be able to get both? Oh, is he going to be able to see him time? I think he will. A couple more hits. There's a fairy fire available there for Yond.
He's going to need another.
And he won't chase up to the high ground. So Yond is going to be able to get out of there. They're able to deal a bit of decent bit of damage there to TA2000 after he chased that. But of course, beforehand, TA2000 was able to get that kill, that pickup onto BNC. We'll have another mine to throw out in a second. And maybe look and see if they get some body blocks going with the walls. BNC sending them in. But the heals are there from Kaori.
Yeah.
TA2000 will be able to get himself back into a safe spot.
Oh, doesn't finish off the Wolf, though. They're being a little bit careful. Wolf's very low. But yeah, Undying, lane secure, as we love to call him, even throwing in those big heals. So he's going to be able to counteract pretty much everything of the techies. And they buy raindrops really early, so Boots, raindrop, 2 Wraithband. This Drow is very strong, and they also just get the tilt top.
Yeah, it was almost inevitable with how much Yond was poking as low as he was. Able to just turn and shoot him down.
3-1. Off to a hot start. In top, we are seeing, I mean, Lycan's still getting some farm, but he's really getting affected from Kaori. It's just the constant decay spam, so... Looking good so far for Thunder as mid, looking for a play on Noob.
Let's see if they can get him. Firefly's up to the high ground to separate himself from Yond as Yond jumps down with the blast off. Knocks back Stoikov with the flame break. Noob.
He's still
trying to get out of there, but looks like the damage from Yond should be level. Ooh, tries to look for the deny to the neutral creeps, but Stoikov finishes him off with a lightning bolt. So a really good move there from Yond. As soon as he's back in action, TPing to the mid and getting that kill there onto Noob, helping Stoikov out.
And it's at good timing. We have Power Rune coming up. Stoikov, Boots and Bottle, checking top. Kaori. Spawns bottom.
Well, they might have a chance of running down this Undying. He's only going to have maybe one more decay to play with. He's going to look for the deny to Roche, but Stoikov indeed able to burn through him here with the Pulse Nova. So some
nice
really good
mango
action around the mid there. Yond making things, that area a very happy place for Stoikov.
He even gets the bottle refill up top. It is the double bounty rune. Not a power rune, but at the least Stoikov now can continue pressuring. Actually gets Arcane Boots delivered too, so he's healthy on mana. Maybe
really
actually
nice.
going to go for TA2000. Scan. Won't match it out, though, so
they know that this is coming, so unlikely to be caught out. Back down bottom, once again, Omar and Woots are able to pounce and take out Mary, and also able to take down the Courier Palantimos. So it's bottom lane, the two of them still being able to rack up the kills. So Noob can do this. He's got the knockback for the flame break into the lasso. There is a fair fire available, but it's surely too many stacks of sticky napalm. Yeah, there's no chance for Stoikov. So Noob will manage to get some revenge here in the mid. He's able to do it on his own. He doesn't need any backup there to be able to take down the enemy mid on his own.
Arcane Rune OP on Batrider early game. That's sticky. Just 2-second cooldown, just keeps him stacked up very quickly. He didn't have a ward in mid lane. Yond actually opted to not place it in mid.
Yond's got to be a bit careful,
place
surely.
it top as Yond.
May not... yeah. I was going to say, maybe not be respecting there. The Arcane still going on Noob.
Yeah. Yeah, you actually maybe lives because of that taser being skilled up early on. Not something you see skilled to early on most techies, but...
A bit of a dive coming in top, and it will get responded to. As Yon's in with the TP, he wants to make sure that TA2000 doesn't get away with diving in for BNC. In fact, TA2000 is just going to turn and take down Yond instead.
Already
as
level
Yond
6
not
on
able
Drow.
to survive through that. 6-3 now. TA2000, top net worth.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, very happy with the kills that sort of getting handed to him there, especially techies turning up after it was the techies that got involved in quite a lot of action around the mid lane. So a juicy kill for the Drow to pick up in their own safe lane.
Drow having this type of start is always going to be excellent versus the Morphling matchup. You know, that's why, you know, the big thing that we mentioned and Panel was talking about, that counter matchup versus Morph. And even just versus Lash, too. Like this, maybe you might not think about it in this kind of similar context, but if you have a great start on Drow, what we've been seeing a lot of times, not everybody, but the Shard being picked up early, right? So Shard versus Lash versus Bloodstone, similar concept of that heal reduction and everything, too. So, yeah, big stuff there for TA2000. But still seeing the Lash and that Morphling having a pretty good start. Still able to farm very well, but just that Lycan is slowed down. And he's the answer. You know, they need Link to have this good game because he's that answer to get on top of Drow Ranger in most team fights.
Let's see. Palantimos is trying to bully back Wuta.
Okay.
Soaring's going to be out soon for Wuta and soon to hit that 6. So Palantimos have to be very cautious there. Back up top. Yon's considering going in, and he will. Jumps in with a blast off. Quite enough to finish with the Undying. Maybe tempted to sort of send that neutral in to look to take him out. And see if they can take this Morphling down. He's going to be grabbing him here with the ultimate, but already a fair bit of strength shifted up, so Palantimos will manage to easily walk this one off. Gets under the tower. We'll be able to heal back up. He's got a few 1 charges to pop as well. He's got to be careful.
They're just spamming. They have arcane boots and mangoes and stuff like that, so they're just pressuring and trying to keep this Morphling a bit low. I was waiting to see what items Palantimos queues up. It's just going to be some standard Dragonlance early fighting items.
Well, top noob instantly in with the TP.
Oh, big move.
And that's going to be taking him very low. Try and run away with the shape shift, but will not manage to escape the bat here. Yon goes for the TP out. Noob, he's got the damage to take him out before he gets away underneath the tower as well. BNC from the grave was trying to kill off the Undying with his army, but wasn't able to do so. Corey able to walk it off. So 2 heroes going down on Water and Enjoyers and not getting anything in return there. Very, very big hit there from Noob's first rotation top.
That's why his bat has been feared quite a lot, to be honest. He's very active. One of the most active players from mid lane. Just loves to play super aggressive and gets both runes. He gets the Arcane Rune earlier, now he gets himself a DD Rune, and he found the Haste earlier too, so off to a great start for Noob. Stoikov has to maybe just continue to be careful in mid lane. I
was going to say, yeah, with his DD and the potential of a front lane break knockback, Stoikov has to step right away from this lane.
Not easy. So other things to talk about as the game does continue to progress is, you know, we didn't even get to touch on how good of a game it is for Omar, right? Like, we've been talking about the core matchups and all these kind of things, but look at this Rubik game, right? He's got Lash, Techie's Tree, Morphling, even amazing if you're able to just get the attribute shift. And he's getting these stacks prepped for his team, too. Like, this is really good stuff. So Omar in preparation for this mid game.
Well, it wasn't quite able to get the Ancient stack there, but still the large camp stacked up very nicely for clearing whenever they feel necessary. Well, I feel they're safe to do so. Imagine we're going to see TA2000 make their way over there at some point. Yeah,
honestly, any of the 3 cores can clear them really nicely to get that big boost. Because I think the big timing, as we were mentioning and Panel was talking about, is the BKBs. Water Rune Enjoyers probably want to set a bit of a tempo, because if they hit BKB timings and Ooredoo Thunders, their team fight's just going to be almost impossible to take versus them. So I think that's why I'm seeing Palantimos going for more of these early game items, because he wants to be able to show up probably to some of these fights, turn into Undying, drop a Tombstone, turn into Primal Beast, get a charge, and to get on top of Drow. So we'll see how those fights end up kicking off, because it just looks difficult for Water Rune Enjoyers to ever actually pressure the map, even though they have this big push lineup.
With the Summoner, they're starting to get the Skeleton army built up, BNC, so he can put some pressure onto this tier 1.
More stacks. Does he get the Ancients this time? Does get the Ancients, but does not get the hard camp. But he has like quad stacks. They both have like quad stacks on both sides.
Could be big if we see either team able to invade each other's half of the map.
Bit of a mess up there. Noob actually TPs onto a creep instead of onto the tower, and the creep gets detonated by a mine, so they actually can't defend top. He had a Haste Rune.
He would have loved to be there. If he was able to turn up with a Haste Rune, I'm pretty sure that could have been BNC going down. But it was settled to just clear up the Ancients instead now without being able to get top. Top lane, Corey will get taken down. And in return, Yond also falls. So they get the trade between the supports. Yeah, clearing up these stacks, staying for Stoikov. He'll back off to his triangle, start working on those. So in the case of Noob, it should put him pretty close to, or actually it should give him the money to get his Blink Dagger done. So a very good Blink Dagger bot timing this game from the bat.
Insane Blink bot timing, really one of the faster ones I think we're going to be able to see.
And the levels as well, right? He's pretty much going to have level 2 lasso, 13 minutes in.
This is, I actually like that he's gone for, if he does opt to go for the Blink, just because then he's the one who can just insta-jump Morphling and stop timing from Palantimos. So let's see if he does commit for it. He will.
There you go, yeah. So 13 minutes, level 12, bots and Blink. You're going to be feeling pretty good as the bat.
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, now, mostly in this game, I would imagine that he's not really looking for the Morphling until he has this item. Now he can actually hunt Palantimos, and they can start to slow down the Morphling as well as how much they've slowed down that offlaner, that Lycan. So let's see where the move is. Noob, he's got the smoke, he's got a haste. Kinda can pick and choose his target.
See what they can find here. Smoke up.
Oh
from
yeah,
Noob
they want this morph.
Yeah. Let's see if they can catch Palantimos by surprise with this timing of the pickup of Noob.
It's so early. And, I mean, look at that.
He senses it, I think. He's stepping back away from the lane.
Oh.
Knows that maybe something's hunting for him.
He got the shift.
He did. And that should be enough to say... Well, it's still a lot of damage. Wuta not quite able to get the initial grab there with his ultimate. Still, though, they'll run down Palantimos, and they will still get him. Nothing can be done to save him. Stoikov comes in to look for the return kill onto Noob. Noob immediately responds with the TP out, and he's going to make it out of that. Gets away before the damage can be done from Stoikov. They'll actually pop the overgrowth here just to secure some sort of action, but it will just be the Rubik kill that they find out of that all there. Noob getting in and not quite getting the job done as smoothly as they may have hoped to against the Morph, but they do get the job done. They take him down and they get the Batrider out of there safely.
Kaori, just the summons.
See Ooredoo try and turn it. I mean, Stoikov did go pretty far here beyond the tier 1 tower, and he'll die for that. So once they manage to get in and take down an Undying, again, they're losing cores. These trades not feeling good at all for Water Rune Enjoyers, as they're only taking down supports whilst themselves are losing cores and also supports on top of it. TA2000 also able to take down Yond with the multi-shot. 12-6 now. Ooredoo Thunder's starting to slam down any hopes of Water Rune Enjoyers getting an early advantage this game. And straight from the mid to the top, Wuta and Noob charging in over onto BNC. No escape for this Lycan, and maybe for the tree as well. Mary just getting burnt by the Firefly. The kills are coming in. Noob now on a mega kill streak. The game's starting to speed up, and not in the manner that Water Rune Enjoyers would have hoped for at the start of this game from the draft.
Just some small mistakes really compounding. Is now TA2000, perhaps they can find him? Nope.
He's out. Hurricane Pike's already done. In fact, he's considering turning back towards them there.
They get the 15-minute timing with the techies and can't find a kill out of it. I mean, yeah, game accelerating incredibly fast. And looking at the levels, too, because of these things accelerating. Noob is 13, TA2000 is 12, and look at their counterparts. The Morphling's only level 10, so Palantimos is slowed down massively.
Well, Yond, got the vision on the high ground here to allow TA2000 and Noma to take him down. DD Rune as well on TA2000. They're considering, like, I think guys, can we do Roche?
Yep, they've got Tombstone. Yep. They should be able to.
In they go. Let's see if Water Rune Enjoyers are able to do anything about this. It's kind of difficult, especially without the techies. He's sort of the best one to sort of just throw himself in and do a lot of burst damage to sort of dissuade this sort of Roshan attempt this early on.
They also,
but he's still down for a few seconds. So,
and they know there's vision, too. Like that ward on the high ground, they can't even contest.
Noob's just in aggressively. He's actually able to get the jump in onto BNC, gets the drag back. They charge forward with Wood, so that's going to be BNC going down.
Rune.
And it's going to hold back the Lesh. Stoikov still trying to find the stun. He's not going to be able to get it off. Ooredoo Thunders are able to separate and turn back in, as TA2000 has been closed in upon by Palantimos. They've lost Corey. Palantimos trying to take down the Drow as well. TA2000 keeping his distance, of course, does have the Aegis. He's going to be fine, and he's got backup. Wuta comes in, grabs Palantimos. Palantimos will manage to waveform forward to take the Aegis out of the hands of TA2000. And off to the side, Stoikov did kill off Noob. TA2000 holding the high ground with a multi-shot. Water Rune Enjoyers, they won't lose anything more there. So, all things considered, not a bad fight there for Water Rune Enjoyers. Yeah, they didn't manage to get to the Roshan and stop the Aegis from being picked up by Ooredoo Thunder. But they do manage to take a fight afterwards, get the Aegis taken away from the Drow, and they don't lose anyone else themselves towards the end of that engagement.
Not too bad. The Lash was able to distance himself. And Morphling, we saw what Palantimos is able to do since he went for these early game kind of items. Turns into Undying, drops Tombstone, kind of causes us havoc. But big item timings either way. Ooredoo Thunders, they not only get the rush, but now BKB is going to be done for Primal. Shard is big one. Shard for Drow. Now versus that Morphling and Lash. If he had it when that fight kicked off, they all were dead on the side of Water Rune Enjoyers also. So, find Stoikov.
Well, he could be in trouble there. A few more procs might do it, and the multi-shot from a distance, it's enough. Stoikov.
Oh boy.
Maybe getting a little carried away after that last good fight that they had. Presents himself mid without any backup around. And very easy for this Drow Ranger to take him out at this point.
And they already have saving items too. We saw the Hurricane Pike early from the Drow, but Shard and Force Staff soon on the menu for Rubik. Glimmer already on Kaori. So, I mean, Ooredoo Thunders knows exactly how to cover themselves and how to protect this Drow Ranger. She's having a flawless game.
And off to the side, Merrick gets caught there by Wuta. Another kill for the Drow. TA2000 wicked sick. Top net worth about 2k gold advantage ahead of anyone else in the game right now at this early point, 18 minutes in.
And of course, guess what neutral item she gets?
Got the grove
Blessed the grove bow.
There you go.
Tower is under attack.
Every time.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Oh boy. Yeah, game really accelerating. Even though they got rid of that Aegis and stuff like that, you can just tell Ooredoo Thunder's the way they're posturing on the map. Nobody's safe on the side of Water Enjoyers. Any of these cores who shows Noob is just a menace.
They try and get the jump on him. But not quite able to get the correct read on the direction he was going to be walking through the tree line. Noob avoids the attempt from Yond and Palantimos.
Tower is under attack. Radiant
And immediately to top. I mean, Noob is just playing so aggressive. He's been able to set this tempo kind of perfectly. Make all the space for TA2000 to just walk up and clean up. 7-0-3 on Drow. 2-level differential between him and the Morph.
As much as Palantimos has, say, tried to be active as the Morph, there's only so much you can do at these early moments of the game. And yeah, sort of matching that KDA of a Drow, it's almost impossible at this stage. Try as he might.
There's just overwhelming damage, really, on Ooredoo Thunder. It's like even if he gets the shift off, he's probably just going to get chased and killed.
Double damage.
Very close to having the Blink Dagger on Mary. So
Yeah.
may at least have sort of that potential of jumping, the back line, rooting the Drow, putting a bit of a stop to their offensive potential, but at the same time, the Drow is very, well, okay, not too close. The Manta is still about a 1,500 or so gold away. Obviously, once that is there, then that jump from the tree with his ult is going to be much less of an issue. They are close to having answers. We'll see if they're able to find a timing maybe where Water Enjoyers can fight before that, because Merrick, Blink Dagger's going to be on the way out. Maybe this is sort of the option for them to try and go for a smoke themselves.
They're pretty close to like triple timings, right? They're going to have Blink Tree, they're going to have BKB on Lash, and they're going to have Manta on Morph. So I think, yeah, they should smoke up as soon as they've got all three. What does Lycan have? Nothing new, but yeah, I think they should smoke up, try to look for this Drow before she does finish Manta.
Yep.
And before, I mean, they don't know this, but before the BKBs are done on the Bat Rider, but Noob actually has it done. I actually like this move top. We're seeing Noob is addressing it, but the Lycan, honestly, Blink's been constantly cutting this wave with the Dragon. It's being very annoying, so they keep having to answer it. But yeah, they are gathering, see what they're going to be able to find.
This is not the find that they want. I mean, Corey's just able to walk in, walk out with a glimmer.
He said, guys, they're bottom, retreat, be careful.
And yeah, this is indeed a little bit painful for Water Enjoyers if they don't find anything with this move. This really would have been the sort of the window to surprise Ooredoo Thunder with these new item pickups, and unfortunately, with them not getting anyone with that sweep of their own jungle, they sort of missed that opportunity.
Yeah, now Ooredoo Thunders, they're about to hit their timing.
Yep.
BKB's Blinks are done, and they're about to have the Manta coming out on Drow they want to hit. Yond will be found, quickly taken out. And of course the Drow. TA2000 gets every single one of these kills. It's like the dream game for the Drow. Oh, and a creep. Sure. More money.
There's a lot of money. Not an easy game for BNC to keep his Helm summons alive. Unfortunately, that means a lot of gold into the pockets of Ooredoo Thunders.
They're really having the issue of exactly what the panel with Snare was alluding to from the early sets of the draft, where how do we start fights on Water Enjoyers? It's just Ooredoo Thunder is doing whatever they want on the map. They're the ones initiating. They're the one waltzing around, kind of posturing constantly. They have these wolves they have been scouting for quite some time, but like, who wants to initiate? It's Techie's Suicide. That's their initiation tool in this game. It's just quite lackluster in comparison.
Oh, look at this from Noob. He's getting some good information with the Invis rune.
Oh man. He's got Lasso ready, level 16. He's got the Dragon Scale also.
Oh.
Dust.
They know he's there. They dropped down the scan. It immediately came back positive, so the dust was popped. Noob will manage to BKB TP out.
Okay, that's a shapeshift. Shapeshift for BKB. I think Noob's happy with that.
Not sure why they suspected. Was he blocking some of the movements of some of the creeps? Is that
I
why
think they
suspected?
saw him earlier with the wolf before he went invis, if I'm not mistaken.
So.
I think Blink was scouting him out. Blink's doing a great job with his micro, don't get me wrong, but yeah, they can't take advantage of it because Ooredoo Thunders is always making the move first.
Oh, and Wutsugo's trying to get Yon, but Yon will manage to blast off in time. They'll turn their attention over towards Mary. An ambitious TP gets shot down. Corey will manage to take him out with the Soul Rip and the Decay. They clear out the top push, and they can start working towards this tier 1 tower top. As they have the 6k lead, 20-8. Still plenty of objectives for Ooredoo Thunders to take off the map.
They're just holding lasso constantly. And look, they saw the Lycan, and they know that Blink used his shapeshift earlier. So Noob, immediately like we said, always looking for the kills, instantly TP's bottom to try to threaten. I think he just got seen by the ward, though, so might get turned on.
Yeah, they should know he's down in, which they could definitely try to capitalize on for themselves. But a little too slippery to catch. They don't quite have as impressive as a jump as Ooredoo Thunders do have, and will do continuously with further additions being made to the items that will allow them to jump on Ooredoo. You know, Blink Daggers coming out next for Wuta. Whereas for what Rune enjoys, it's a bit of sort of let's run at them and hope that they sort of run back at us.
Pretty much. No way to start fights besides just charging into them and... Yeah,
so yeah, it's all on the tree. I mean, that's why Mary's had to go for this Blink, you know, straight up right. This is their initiation. Mary is the jump.
Yeah, this is sometimes where you really start to see things just... You see that whole grand scheme of the draft where things just... It's like, oh man, there actually seems to be a bit of a hole. All 3 of our cores, well, 2 of our cores at least, just walk in to start fights, and the supports are not the best to start it either. So, yeah, Ooredoo Thunder's just kind of moving around, getting to do whatever they want. They now have... not only the Manta, but a full BKB on the Drow and level 18. They're hitting like all these timings perfectly together as... Look at this, Orochi's is up, and they're actually just running into a fight.
Oh, Mary's actually able to get the Blink off there. That's because they have their eyes on a bigger target. They get the jump, the lasso drag back onto Palantimos. Very well played there by Noob. And of course, yeah, TA2000, as you pointed out earlier, really is just getting to clean up every single last hit on the kill. Pretty much 10-0-3. Doesn't really get much better for the gold that this Drow is being able to pick up from every move they're involved in. TA2000 having a fantastic time here on the carry.
And never gets better for the Drow versus Morphling matchup. This matchup just gets worse and worse, honestly. That's why we used to see Drow as this counter pick all the time versus these high edgy heroes. Because look at this armor, you know, Morphling, 30 armor, you've got all this HP, whatever regen, but Drow completely counteracts not only the regen, but just pierces through that armor with marksmanship. Yeah, pretty much the dream for TA2000. As we've seen, I feel like he always has these games. He just pops off.
And as you can see here from the stats, just the sort of difference in impact he's able to have as a Drow compared to the Morphling. It's doubling the damage, hero damage that's been done at this stage of the game with how much the Drow can have this early impact in these fights at this just 26 minutes of the game. And on top of that, the CS difference quite a bit as well. Pretty much nearly 50% increase on the CS in comparison to what Palantimos has been able to clean up. Just as a hero, and the way TA2000, of course, is very well playing it, it's just so hard for this morph to keep up.
And it just really feels like there's nothing they can do, right? They're just letting Ooredoo Thunders do whatever they want around the map. And they're kind of running around trying to look for something, but it feels like even if they find somebody, they might all just die. Like Noob, he has BKB, so might just be able to turn on them.
We will get the tier 2 tower top.
Last time in 5 seconds.
Being hesitant though, I think it's aware that there's likely the whole team behind, and indeed they are. Rune and Joy sticking as a 5-man unit here inside the jungle of Ooredoo Thunders.
Okay, more item timings coming out for Water Enjoyers. They've got the Lincolns now to protect versus Lasso and instant disables. They've got AC on Lycan to try to help a bit versus Drow Ranger, but still, the same question comes into it. How do they approach a team fight? How do they actually deal with these BKBs? How do they get on the Drow Ranger? Because she's just going to kill everyone. And yeah, it feels like those long-duration team fights might be something that they're looking at, but it doesn't feel like it's even going to go well for them in one of those long-duration ones.
And TA2000 closing in on his next time, gets the Mindbreaker. Fantastic, that extra little bit of surprise silence. And yeah, Scardy, about 900 gold away. It's going to shut down the Morphlings game even more.
And Lesh even, right?
And yeah, true Bloodstone
That's
Lesh,
why it just feels like it's like the perfect Drow game. Itemization-wise, and just the way that it's all played out. He could just stand his ground. Whoever walks at him hits, he'll just die. They'll just be able to kill pretty much anybody that commits onto this Drow. Yeah, he's so close to having this. This is ridiculous item timings. Just GPM actually looking like. Almost 800 on the Drow, yeah. That's pretty absurd.
See here poking at the tower in the mid. Yeah, full Scardy on its way over in the courier now.
Good lord. I mean, so tanky. Can maybe, even if they get on top of her, they might not even be able to bring her down. On top of all the other benefits, of course. Oh boy.
Radiant's middle tower
And this is without even factoring, like, if they get on Drow, there's a Shard Rubik, a Force Staff Rubik, a Glimmer on Undying, Holy Locket, heals, etc. too, so... Yeah, these fights just feel pretty impossible for Water Rune Enjoyers. They're going to have some kind of crazy scenario happen.
Ooh, and they get in and they get the grab. There will be the overgrowth in return to try and stop them from instantly killing off Stoikov. We'll give Stoikov the chance to BKB and run up to the high ground. But they're considering diving in. He has to put the BKB to continue to keep his distance and run away from Ooredoo Thunders.
He actually only lives because of Illusion Rune. He disjointed one of the Scotty hit slows. Was able to get away.
We'll see what they can do in terms of stopping this push. As the Tier 3 tower starting to get focused by Tier 2000. Still happy to play aggressively with a minute left on the Aegis.
They should know there's a ward in the high ground right now. Like, the Drow's just hitting freely up high ground. Where's the sentries at? Mary will find it, but now Mary gets grabbed.
And there's the multi-shot. Mary immediately taken out as soon as they get close to the front of the fight. They will manage to drop the sentry, get rid of the ward, but not before the tree goes down again on this defense.
And there goes the tower. And Tombstone just up on the high ground. Now they have full vision inside the base with that.
Now they can keep going. There's not much that they're scared of right now. Still 30 seconds on the Aegis. TA 2000 won't be going anywhere until that's gone away.
Clean game from Ooredoo Thunders, as we've come to expect.
And off to the side, Wuto eyeing up the chance to maybe find this Hammer the Overlord Dragon, but not quite have the damage. John's going to throw themselves in to try and stop this, but there's the knockback from the Flame Break into the multi-shot. BNC attempt for a TP out. Won't be able to do so in time. There's two dead. This push from Ooredoo Thunders, it will continue even with this Aegis coming to an end, I would imagine, as they're 15k lead. We'll see how much they back off, but there really is no need to, it feels. There's two heroes down still for 30 seconds. Fortification's been used. Stoikov is coming from the side. And Noob, Lasso's back up on Noob. So if they can get the vision, they can get the grab. He's in. It's actually going to be Wuto overriding the grab with his own pulverize, but it doesn't matter. Either of the ults would have done the job. As they take down the kill, they take the Tier 3 onto a second set of racks. 4 heroes dead on Water Rune Enjoyers. Nothing to be done to stop this push. It looks like they will play on, but this game very much looking like it's in the bag here for Ooredoo.
Yeah, they got to, I mean, literally feels like they got to do pretty much anything they wanted this game, right? After Noob being able to make clean rotations, Drow having a full free game, showing up, getting every single cleanup kill. Felt like Water Rune Enjoyers just... I think after they died mid, the game was over, right? After the Lesh died in the mid lane, when they went for that kind of play and got turned on after the double kill from bottom, yeah, it feels like the game just was impossible for them. You know, they went for this Morphling last pick, but I mean, I think they just picked it into full counters, really. This Drow is this Drow just has the perfect game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ooredoo Thunders just left with sort of sorting out the formalities, working out the top lane. Tier 1 down, work through to the Tier 2. These next few items sent out. All this gold that they're picking up from this incredible amount of push and siege that they've successfully gotten away with. Before they can look to run down that final lane and potentially deliver the final blow here to Water Rune Enjoyers in this game 1.
Yeah, I think it's just time to 5-man smoke on Water Rune Enjoyers and try to hit them before they're all set up, because when Ooredoo's set up, there's just, yeah, as we've seen multiple times, no way to fight. Aghanim's now for Palantimos. So, okay, time to turn into Drow. Hope for the best that you've removed some of those stats and some of that damage.
Here we go. Potentially the final smoke here, Water Rune Enjoyers. They want to go for one last chance at finding a fight. As you say, they've got these recent item pickups. Level 18, Aghanim's on the morph. This has to be successful, otherwise we might see them tapping out.
God, it's like, how do they initiate the fight, though? The coverage that you have to do, it's like, guys, we need to get on top of Drow, but we also need to CC. We need to control the Rubik somehow, but also need to control the Undying, because they just have so many different things that are going to be able to bail her out, either the Force Staff Shards, Glimmers, etc. So, have to have some type of, stun or control. It's, yeah, so difficult for them. They see the Drow right now, but lanes just get shoved out too quick. I just used an MMO term, by the way, in case you heard it there. I said CC. It's a good one. Don't think people ever have used that one in Dota, but
But surely they have.
You know what it is, obviously, right?
Everyone knows what that is. It means credit card.
It means credit. Yeah, exactly. Crowd control, you dummy. All right, let's see.
Right, we go.
Oh, they're not even getting the smoke broken. Oh, no, they see them all.
And now they're ready to go and Wu to BKB. Jumps into the high ground, gets the grab onto Mary. Mary will get the ultimate off, but Stoikov just gets shredded by this drow.
Palantimos.
Yon gets run over by the trample of Wuta. Palantimos is attempting to provide some sort of damage in this fight, but he hasn't got the farm to do so. He goes
GG.
down. GG is called. Ooredoo Thunders will take this game 1 and continue to just look as good as ever, really, as they have been doing here in this Division 2. Looking like a very, very strong team, playing some very, very good Dota 2. And Water and Enjoy is just unable to shake them here in this first game. And maybe some of that was down to some of the...